Welcome to the wonderful world of wellness with Dr. Andy Mencia. This medical program heard from 7 to 7:30 each Saturday right here on WSBR 740 AM is brought to you by the Adult and Geriatric Center under the medical direction of geriatrician Dr. Andy Mencia. Okay, we're here all by ourselves this morning. No friends.
I have you.
Oh, you have me and I have you.
Richard.
And we have Richard, the three of us. We're enough, right? So
we
Richard.
are doing good.
Right.
And we have a following from Norway listening to us, so that's really nice.
New people.
After we brought Sarah over. So Richard, the reality of life. How are we doing, buddy?
Oh, I had a rough week. I actually broke down.
Okay.
I had 3 cigarettes this week.
Okay. And the last cigarette was when?
Wednesday.
So since Wednesday, you've been abstinence from smoking?
Correct.
Okay. This is part of life. This is part of fighting an addiction that there are hundreds and upon hundreds of thousands of people trying to fight. And you'd be amazed. I have one of the lady called me from Germany. And she was telling me, I followed your show and all of that. She called me. And she wanted to tell me that I follow your show, but when I hear you and Richard talk about to stop smoking and all of those things, they say that's the most amazing part of your show.
Really?
So there are people following you from all over.
International notoriety.
So keep it up, buddy. 3 cigarettes. A lot of people. I have so many patients. They say I smoke, but maybe 1 to 2 cigarettes a week. I say you don't need hypnotherapy. You can stop by yourself. So the battle is not over.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And it may never be over, is it?
Exactly. It's like alcohol addiction, smoking, gambling,
food.
Food. It's never over. It's always there. You have to say I've been abstinence for so many years, and you still in recovery.
But I couldn't have gotten this far without your help. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm there. We're still there for you, and I know you're gonna do it.
I will.
And I'm so happy of you coming public because there are so many people out there listening to him and getting motivated by him. So to me, that's the most important thing we have done.
Right, but just carry on with this one more thing, Dr. Mencia. People who have addictions, whatever they are, it takes now when they break down, which is very human, but then to pick yourself up and not continue. That's the key, not to say, okay, well, I already did it, so what's the difference, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's the difference.
Right. That, because you fell on one knee, you still have another leg to get back up on your feet.
Right.
Some people say, okay, I fell down on one knee, that's it, I'm done. No, That's not true. You can use that as an excuse.
And your whole theme that you're going to be talking about that I love about longevity. And how to, so if someone's going to live to be 100 years old, they're going to have a lot of these problems, all sorts of problems, aren't they?
Of course. And they start at any age. Sarah came with us last week. And
From Norway.
From Norway. And we've been going back and forth trying to get her into school. Finally, yesterday, she started school. So yesterday was her cultural shock of starting school in the United States. And it was interesting. I said, I have her and Talene, we went out to have ice cream. And I asked Talene, my daughter, how was your day? She told me. I asked Sarah, how was your day? And she went class by class. And she said, oh, my God, when I got to math, I couldn't understand a thing what they were talking about.
Why?
Because, first of all, it's a different language for her. But I don't know if you ever studied in Europe. In Europe, we do math like division different than the way we do it in the United States. Also in Latin America. Yeah, Latin America, they execute division like they do in Europe. They still follow the European method of dividing. So for her, it's a little cultural shock. So I say, talk to Armine, my other daughter, and tell her to show you how we do it here. And it's easy to learn. She'll pick it up in no time. But she was...
But she speaks English fluently, doesn't she? Or no?
I don't know how fluent, but she does. Yeah, she does speak English. You know,
Right.
I don't know how fluent she is. Well, that's another problem within itself because my oldest brother, he learned English from England, and when he came to the United States, he had problems because he couldn't understand the people talk here. People couldn't understand him. And, you know, how could that be? You speak
how
English.
could that be, right?
You know, when they say water. And
Oh, right.
when I got to England at the beginning, I had problem understanding the English speak, you know, with the accent, the way they talk. But then after a while, you get used to it. You start picking it up. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing that we are doing. I'm very happy we are doing it. I'm so happy that Sarah and my two girls are getting along so nicely.
Well, I want to ask you a question about talking about aging. There are a lot of people who do come from other countries, and they come to the United States, and they do learn English, even though they have an accent, and they live to be 80, 90. There's some older adults who don't, and they won't.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Well, it's laziness in certain part. Number one is laziness. Number two is not laziness by itself, but the fact that if you come, like Sarah, she speaks Norwegian, and I have a friend of mine from Germany that, of course, she have to learn English because there are not too many people who speak your language. So when you go to a place that people do not speak your language, you are forced to learn the foreign language or the language of where you are now. There are so many Hispanic in this country that you don't have to learn English. You have like 7 Hispanic channels. You have like 20 Hispanic radio stations. You have 20 newspaper in Spanish, magazine. You know, I say the Hispanic culture is so embedded into this country that people can come into this country being Hispanic and they will never learn a word in English. And you say, how could this be? You know, and these are people, educated, professional people that might come here. They will never learn the language. And you have people that are not so educated that will go into a factory and live in the community, and everything is there for them. You go to, you know, I remember going to a grocery store, a bodega in New York City, and they say, we don't speak English. This is in New York City, in Manhattan. I say, we don't speak English. I say, how can you say that?
So
Is
English,
that legal?
Spanish is speaking to us. We don't speak English, right? So it's an attitude
You know.
sometimes too, isn't it?
It's
There's a little bit of an
exactly.
attitude.
So, you know, people grouped, and, you know, the kids that I brought from Tajikistan, you know, in no time they were speaking English. You know, I brought 2 kids from Armenia about maybe 9 years ago. And when they came here, they didn't speak a word in English. And I said, I'm going to teach you Taekwondo. So I started teaching them Taekwondo. So it was all sign language. But I learned Armenian, you know, talking to them. Then I registered them in high school. They are 2 teenagers. They started going to high school. And in no time, they were speaking English. They knew the computer better than me. They took off. So, you know, I think is we if things are made too easy for us, we tend to not do our part to move into society. And when it comes to longevity, if you cannot live in this country and inside yourself you live in another country, you have to adapt to the country that you are in. You know, it's like one of my patients, he lives in Thailand. And I say, well, do you miss the food from here? He said, no, I already adapted. So now I just eat the food from there. He's fluent with the language. His kids go to school there and they speak both English and their native language and all of that. And they picking up the culture. They have friends from Thailand. So, you know, you have part of longevity is being like water. We have to adapt to the environment. You put water in a bottle, the water will adapt to the bottle. But if you put it in a glass, then the water will just adapt to the glass. And some people might say, oh, that is a sign of weakness.
What is a sign of weakness?
To adapt.
Is
When
that
you
right?
Yeah,
Is
some
that
people will
right?
say, yeah, if I'm adapting to someone else's culture, someone else's
is
way of
weakness.
life, I'm weak. You know, I should
Whoa.
just keep my stuff the way I am.
Oh.
And adapting is part of surviving. But, because you adapt doesn't make you weak. In Taekwondo, we teach that adapting, like in the water, doesn't make the water weak. And look, when you have a little leak in the roof of your house, how the water can start penetrating and moving left, right, up, down, and water can come. You can have a leak in this corner of the house and the water come inside your house on the other side of the room, because it just start moving and adapting and moving until it penetrates and it can produce a lot of damage. So adapting could be a sense of strength and no weakness.
That's
strength.
Well, I just heard about there's we're advertising a little very small 12-room retirement community in Normandy Isle in Miami Beach, and they just got a man in that only speaks Yiddish. Now they brought him in from the Miami Jewish Home or something. And he's the sweetest man, but no one can speak to him because he only speaks Yiddish. And he laughs, and I don't know how that's going to work.
I have a nurse who speaks Yiddish.
Oh, so we have to put. You have to be a translator. But think about this man. He's an older man. He's been living here for so many years. And maybe he lived in a community where everyone spoke Yiddish, but now he's in trouble, in my opinion, because he can't. I mean, he's a happy man, but how can they deal with him?
You are never happy when you are in that situation. You are always, you become paranoid, and you become dissatisfied because he might want egg, and they give him toast. But how can he say that? No, man, I want eggs, man. Give me some egg.
Right.
I want bacon. They don't eat bacon. No. They don't eat bacon. Turkish bacon.
He was listening.
Turkish bacon.
He was listening.
Turkish bacon.
Okay.
They are Turkish bacon, right?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
The bacon we eat is the turkey. We don't eat the...
Oh, turkey bacon. Oh, yeah, there's the turkey bacon. Right.
So, like that. So you can ask, you might want tomato, they give you an egg.
Right. Well, maybe he just points a lot. But no, it's all part of what your whole theme here is on adaptation for one who grows older.
Yeah, as we grow old, we need to adapt and we need to assimilate what's important to us. So, take, for example, the kids walking around with their pants on their knee. Pants on the ground. So you see the kids walking around with the pants on the knee, and I see some physicians imitating that culture.
Really?
And I say, are you stupid? These are kids that they are going to outgrow that style.
Fad. Yeah.
And then they go to college and they, you don't adapt downward, you adapt upward.
Oh, that's funny.
So, as we adapt for longevity, you don't adapt downward. McDonald's is the culture adapting downward. Burger King, you are adapting downward. You want to adapt upward. Some of the vegetarian restaurants that are opening up, some of the Middle Eastern food that are opening, that are all healthy food and they're keeping calorie and what have you, that's adapting upward in society. And as an individual, you always can have choices. When you are driving, you can take the left lane or the right lane. You can turn left, you can turn right. And then in your society, you can go upward or you can go downward.
That's a very, very good point. My guest is, of course, it's really his show. I just hear kind of laughing with him and assisting him. Having fun. We always have fun. Of course, is Andy Mencia, who is an MD, and he has his own major practice. He has a whole, actually, it's almost like a minor hospital. I don't want to call it a hospital. It's a wellness center.
Clinic.
It's a wellness center.
It's a wellness center.
The wonderful world of wellness. You're listening to that. And to make an appointment, he is open on Saturdays. It's 954-489-1345. Anything that you have that you are questioning about yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, just make that phone call because you'll see they will help you. They are the best people, probably in South Florida, for medical care. 954-489-1345. They're located on East Commercial Boulevard, right near Holy Cross Hospital in Fort Lauderdale. And we do this show every Saturday morning, and Dr. Mencia
we got the flu shot.
Oh, I have to come and get the flu shot. I have to. No, I'm coming. Let's see.
They're going to be giving you flu shot.
So you'll be there all day.
They're going to be offering flu shot in different places. At least you know that you
no.
are getting. First of all, you want to make sure.
No, he doesn't mean different places.
Well,
no.
Yeah, you should get it, Richard. You should get your
Yeah.
flu shot. You are you still consider an active smoker. Because
What do you mean shots in different places?
No, he meant
you can get it in different places like the pharmacy.
No,
I thought you meant
in
on your
different
body.
places,
No
his rear
different
end.
parts of your body.
That's
no,
what he
no,
meant.
no. You can get it.
In different places, he meant.
You
Because you have
can
a
have
cute
it
nurse, he
in-
wants it in his rear end. I'm sorry.
Exactly. You can have it in different places in the community. I would suggest that if you are
No.
my patient, get it
Dr.
at the
Mencia,
office.
no.
And
Not to
if
be at
you
a
know if
medical
your
office.
primary doctor is doing it, at least you are sure that you're getting the right thing. Number one. Number two, you are also you have somebody there keeping track.
Good
That
point.
you are getting your you know,
point.
if you get it here this year, next year you get it someplace else, next year you go to the community service, and next year you get it at church, and you know, the synagogue or what have you, you're going to be, your record is all messed. You know, get it at the same spot. Go always, you know, if your doctor is doing it, then your doctor is supposed to keep your record. Why is that so important? Because you're helping your doctor? No. Because when you move from your house into a retirement community, an assisted living facility, or a nursing home, the record of your doctor is what's going to move. It's not the pharmacy record that is going to move.
When I walked into Walgreens for something else the other day, there's a woman standing there greeting you. Would you like your pneumonia shot? Would you like your flu shot? I said, no, thank you. And I walked by, but they're really pushing it.
Yeah, of course. You know, so get it through, you know, go through your
Right.
doctor, get it through if you don't have a doctor, you don't have insurance, and you want to go that way, then go that route. But if you have a doctor, get it through your doctor.
Okay, so flu shots that's a must, but I think pneumonia is pretty important too.
The pneumonia shot is also very important, and we do have the pneumonia shot. We have the shingle shot. We have the hepatitis. We have all the vaccination. We are a vaccination center. As a matter of fact, we are being upgraded now into a hepatitis screening center. We're going to be doing a training that will make us one of the centers in the country, because, you know, hepatitis is a big problem in the United States.
We'll make sure people knows that hepatitis, we're not talking about AIDS. We're talking about hepatitis C that you talked about before in the show.
That we spoke about. And if you get hepatitis C, you can get it through sexual transmission. And if you do get hepatitis C, then you are prone to cancer of the liver. So it's important that you get vaccinated. And Sarah, before she went to school, we have to do all her vaccination because they will not let her go in.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And she was her tetanus shot. That's what delayed her. She was supposed to go in on Thursday. And her tetanus shot, I said, nope, she had to get it right after she finished 7th grade. She had to get another one. So we gave it to her and back to school.
See, now I feel it's very important when you hear a doctor, a physician, saying that he takes it, his children, he has his children doing all this. You know, a lot of people, I don't know where that all came from with this thing. Oh,
but,
we don't want shots,
my
blah, blah, blah.
girls, you know, my younger daughter is 11, and I gave her the human papillomavirus vaccination. She's not even sexually active, but if I vaccinate her now, at least her immune system is ready to prevent the human papillomavirus that can produce cervical cancer.
Amazing.
So, you know, there's many things we can do. We can be proactive so that we can hit longevity in a nice way. So it's a wide road. It's a wide path to longevity. And there are many side roads that can divert you from it.
And why do some people, this is a big question, I know you'll figure something out to answer. I always ask you these questions. I spend all night waking, you know, thinking what I can ask you. Why do people age differently? So many people they're so different when they age.
Right. Remember the analogy I used last week of the car? You know, you can get in a car and you can step on the accelerator and age fast, or you can step on your brake and your clutch and slow down the process. There are many, and they are both active. You know, when you kill yourself, when you force yourself into aging, it's an active process. You know, when you go and say, let me go and sit down, go on the beach, Last week I took Sarah by the beach and we were walking. She said, "Oh, I don't have my sunblock on." That was so nice of her. I was so proud to hear that from her. So, there are people that get educated. If you're going to go to the beach, you have to have your sunblock on. And there are other people that will go to the beach and they will put on baby oil so they can burn more.
That's amazing. I see. So that's
when
what
you put on the baby oil, you're stepping on the accelerator.
Yeah.
So that you can develop the beautiful skin cancer, and then you can have those beautiful scars from all the surgery and all of that stuff, And then your body, of course, is going to look very different from the person that take good care of the skin, that keep the skin moist, that take good care of their bones, take care of their body. They stay away from cigarettes. They stay away from excess amount of alcohol. They don't go around sleeping with other people without using protection, without knowing who they are sleeping with.
At every age.
At every age. HIV now is raising so high now. Among people over the age of 65. And you get all these people over the age of 65 going to the clubs, watch the nude girl dancing and doing this, and they are quote unquote experimenting, and it's futile. I mean, they are playing Russian roulette. No offense to the Russians.
They don't really think about it. That's right. No, go to Russia, but some of the things that are the most important, so that we don't run out of time. What are the most important things about aging? We don't say gracefully, but that, who can really age well, and they ought to. One thing I know, and you'll have to tell me that, they really need to come to see you often. In other words, like you said, it isn't once a year anymore, is it?
No. That's all book stuff. And, if you go to a doctor that see you once a year, that's really bad. That's bad. I mean, I have so many of my patients that they look forward now to a monthly appointment. They look forward to that. And I have one of my Italian patients that came in, and he still thinks the old way. No, my doctor in New York used to see me once a year, so I don't need to. And, he came with his wife. They both messed up. They both had the blood pressure out of whack. They gained so much weight. And I say, it's going to be hard to fight it now, but we're going to try. But, you make it so difficult on yourself. I can try to help you, but I can help you lose 5 pounds so much easier than 50 pounds. And his blood pressure was so high that now his vision is affected, and his legs are all swollen, which means that now I have to monitor his kidney, I have to monitor his heart. It's a completely different ballgame. And, you just, once you push your body that far, that you gain over 50 pounds in less than a year, and then you come back to your doctor and say, fix me up. You can try to bring that person back, but you are not slowing down the aging process. People get confused with that. Say, if my sugar is high, let it be 200 to 300, and then I'll go to the doctor in 6 months after the wedding, and I get it fixed. So after the bar mitzvah,
or the cruise vacation,
and then I come back and get it fixed. That's baloney, man. Don't do that to yourself, because once you push your body for 6 months, you have aged your body so much that, we can fix the number. We won't fix your aging process. You don't bring it back. So when people tell you they can reverse it, I can reverse your aging process when it comes to the surface. I can give you Botox, I can give you filler, I can work on that. But I tell my patient I'm working on the outside. On the inside, we have to work together on that part. When you push the inside in a bad way, that usually don't come back. If you develop congestive heart failure and your heart become 3 times its size, we can work with medication to keep you alive, but your heart won't be normal again.
With all that you said, but the fat around the heart and around all the organs, I really remembered that.
And if you take your kidney and you damage it to a stage 3, I might be able to bring it back to a stage 2, but I won't bring it back to normal. Nobody can do that. unless you get kidney transplant and you want to live the rest of your life taking medication that's going to make your hair fall off, you won't have energy, you're going to live in a wheelchair and say, I have new kidneys, but I have now a messed up body. So, it's your choice. So in the aging process, the key is to always be proactive, to slow it down, strengthen your body, work on the metabolism, decrease the amount of fat. The old saying that we have to eat a lot of protein in our diet is down the sideline. You don't have to eat excess amount of protein because, your kidney can only process so much protein, otherwise it gets accumulated in your body. You need to eat more vegetable, eat more salad. Those sort of things will help you. Protein is important, but in a small amount. So when it comes to eating protein, people used to think between 120 and 130 grams of protein is what you need. And in reality, you do better when you look at different society where their protein intake is between 50 and 60 grams of protein, and they don't take them all from red meat like we do in the United States because we are, red meat eaters. If we don't take that all from red meat, then you are being proactive in slowing down the aging process.
When you say that, and you say, I don't know I always think in terms of ounces. So you're looking at 4 ounces of protein?
Yeah, exactly.
A whole day. 4 ounces of protein.
Yeah.
So if I'm having yogurt, how can I have yogurt and milk and I can't have a lot of stuff then?
No, you have to alternate. Yeah, you don't want to have all of that stuff in one setting, but throughout the day, that's what they say. When
4 ounces, not for the whole day.
No, right, just per setting. So you want to spread it out so that you have, the milk here, the yogurt here, and so on. And throughout the day, you have your protein from other sources. Right.
Well, this is why I really, we have run out of time, but I have to say this, that Dr. Mencia has provided fantastic people there, the dietitian, nutritionist, who's, of course, been here before, and
the psychologist.
And the hormone replacement therapy. All the things that you have are really geared to make that person age well, and I'm so happy that you've been doing this. By the way, Medicare, most insurances are accepted there. Call for an appointment if you do want to go on Saturday. Dr. Mencia leaves here. He runs to this office. He is one of the most special people you will ever meet.
For those baby boomers, there are so many baby boomers out there without insurance. I want them to know that we do work with you.
Yep.
If I see, because, I believe on the biopsychosocial aspect of medicine. So if the social aspect of medicine tell me that this person cannot afford an insurance, then I do just what the person can afford at the moment to make sure that their immediate problem get taken care of. And then what else we can do. And, Ed from Senior Helper has been so good in helping us out when, getting resources out there and doing things for patients so that even though you don't have insurance, we can do things for you to help you. Even, you don't sit and wait because you are 58 and say, I still have 7 more years to go before I can, go and see a doctor. That's the wrong thing to do. If your body tells you that you have to see somebody,
go.
You are late already.
Right, listen to your body. Already. Thank you, Dr. Mencia, as
my
usual.
Pleasure.
It's always
Richard,
so wonderful.
Keep it off, Richard, my brother.
Yeah, we're going to be going to, in just a minute, we're going to go to Joe Karp, our elder law attorney. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to The Wonderful World of Wellness with Dr. Andy Mencia. Be sure to tune in each Saturday morning from 7 to 7:30 right here on WSBR 740 AM.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.